Welcome to this episode of my card thoughts here at the Rewards Master. And today I want to talk just a little bit, just basically from my frustrations about our community centered around credit cards and travel points and all of that here on YouTube. And let me say from the outset that some of these frustrations are specific to my stage of the game, so to speak, that we call it, or the hobby, or whatever language you want to use. And for me, it's just, I've noticed this over the past several months, is that I guess we all evolve in different things. And in this travel hobby, I've evolved to the point where I want to listen to content. I want to learn more. It's my hobby. I'm passionate about it. I want to grow in it. And I have a lot of time to listen because I do a lot of things like mowing and working on my tractor. I drive a lot for my job and to commute. And so I have a lot of time to listen. And I found that I'm just so frustrated lately because I just can't find anything to watch or anything to listen to. It's all stuff that's just elementary, stuff I already know, or it's stuff that just doesn't apply at a late stage of the travel game. And what I mean by that is that for myself, I'm at a stage in this game where I have more points. I accumulate more points every year than I have enough vacation time to spend. I mean, even if we went on aspirational trips, and we do. When we go a couple times a year overseas and we lie flat seats and we stay in Waldorf Astorias and stuff like that, and I still have more points than I can spend. So that's where I'm at in the game. And it's like a lot of the videos that you watch, in fact, the vast majority of them are, what's the best first credit card that you can get? Well, I mean, when you're 20 cards in and you're, got status on multiple airlines or whatever, then those don't teach you anything. In fact, they go back over the same thing over and over and over. And I don't know if anybody else feels these frustrations, so it may just be a rant and it may just be specific to my situation, but that's okay. Well, the first thing that really kind of strikes me about the content that we see is, like I said, there's so much that's just directed at people who are very, very new in this. And some of it, I think, that's not great advice. It's like, why are they talking about things like APRs? I'm never going to talk about APRs. I mean, this channel for me is just a hobby. I mean, I just do it because I love credit cards and I love the benefits. I mean, I feel that the Lord has blessed me immensely with all of this great ability to travel and it not cost me anything. It's just a great hobby. But you look at people in the new part of the game. When I was in my 20s or in my 30s and, trying to figure out a way to buy a house and trying to figure out a way to put my kids through college and all of that. I mean, I didn't need to know about APRs because we all know, and people say it, and I'm not trying to disparage on anybody. I think we have great content creators. I guess this is more just to encourage people, make some variable content that really applies to more than just one group of people. Because a lot of those, a lot of the people that are listening to this, what does it matter? I mean, if you're doing this game right, what does it matter what your credit limit is? Because if you're at my stage of the game, you got so many cards that, I mean, that is not an issue. I mean, honestly, if I get a card and they're going to give me a card that, I think has great benefits or is giving me a big point bonus or whatever, and it has $1,000 limit, that ain't going to bother me at all. I mean, I don't care. Now, most of them don't. Most of them have way, way, way bigger limits than that. But I don't care. I don't even think about it. And it's so strange because there's very little content out there for folks at that stage of the game. But yet, it's also directed at folks that do these people need a credit card? I mean, do people who are at a point in their life where they're struggling have to know the APR? I mean, you should never, ever, ever carry a balance on a credit card unless maybe you get a 0% for 18 months or something and you already have the money in the bank to pay for whatever you're buying, and you just do the 0% so that you earn 4.5% in your high yield savings account or something like that. I mean, that makes sense. But I don't think most of the folks listening are trying for that strategy, right? But yet we talk about APRs. People often talk about what the credit limits or how to raise credit limits or how to raise credit scores. I mean, I guess the thing that really gets me is the vast majority of people are not self-disciplined enough for this. I mean, it takes a high level of self-discipline. I mean, big time. And you kind of need to have cut your teeth on budgeting and living within your means, living under your means, saving for retirement, saving for your kids' college, all of that before you get into credit cards, or they can mess you up. And we know this because whether anybody wants to say it or admit it or not, all these rewards that we're blessed with are subsidized by undisciplined people. I mean, they just are. They're subsidized by people who are putting things on credit cards they shouldn't put on there and carrying balances they shouldn't. And I'm not saying I want that for them, but that is just the truth of it. The companies are making money. So everybody they're losing money on, they must be making money on many, many, many more people. And so that concerns me. Now, the thing is, for me, I have no ambitions to quit my job and have YouTube be my job or anything that earns me significant money. This is a hobby for me. And, you know, you've heard the old adage that if you love what you do, you never go to work a day in your life. Well, that's me. I love what I do. I don't plan to ever retire. This is not a money-making thing. It's a hobby for me. So, you know, that when I look at this, that's how I go into this. And that brings up the other thing is that some of the advice, and I think people are honest. I'm really not trying to disparage anybody, but I think the whole business aspect of it all kind of can taint it. I don't know. I don't have affiliate links because I have no interest in that. I'm just not going for that. This isn't intended to be a business for me, but I have no affiliate links. And I do know that sometimes I'll put out there my referral link so I can get some points if somebody wants to use it or something. But my channel's small. I know that it's insignificant. That's okay with me. If it's just my family and friends that watch it, that's fine. But some of the advice that's given is like, you know, this is the best card. I mean, we could all talk about one in particular that everybody recommends is the very best first travel credit card. And then they talk about things like travel portals. I mean, honestly, if you're using travel portals, you're not doing this right. And at least from my perspective, I mean, just get a cash back card and get the cash back. What's the difference between 1% and 1.25%? I mean, at the end of the day, then you could pull the money out and put it in a high yield savings account and earn 5% on that or whatever. I mean, but yet we're talking about travel portals and we're talking about, I mean, I don't redeem anything through travel portals. And so they say, well, this card gives a, you know, this sign up bonus of 60,000 points is worth $750. Well, boy, not by my estimation. I mean, I wouldn't even bother with it for that. I'd just get the cash back. I mean, I'm not going to use those travel portals. They're a nightmare when you have to go places, unless it's like Venture X and you get like to discount the annual fee or something like that. So all of these things just seem to be a frustration. It kind of reminds me of, you know, I wonder if the affiliate links on some of these cards just way better than others. One example is I've heard, I don't know for sure, please tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. On any of this, tell me if I'm wrong. But because I'm certainly not trying to disparage anybody. I think we have some great travel creators, super knowledgeable, very passionate about it. But it kind of reminds me, for years and years, I was a martial arts instructor. And I owned 2 different martial arts schools, and I did it like as a hobby, like I do this as a hobby. Was no intention of making money, serious money with it, or making that full time. And nothing wrong with making things full time if that's your ambition. But for me, we used to joke about the McDojos, and what I mean by that is that my school was what is often in the martial arts world called a garage dojo. And that it kind of refers to people who do it out of their garage and just teach for a very small amount of $20 a month or something like that, or free. And it's all about the art, right? It's all about just doing it the right way and intensely and real. But then you got the McDojos, and the only way they can make a living and pay their rent and all of that is they've got to, then you have kids that go from white belt to yellow belt, and they've got 4 stripes in between each belt, and they charge them a testing fee for each of those stripes. And so you end up paying out all these fees to, if you're going to make it to black belt, it's going to be like, I don't know, 40 tests in between to get there. It's unnecessary. It's just a marketing thing. Well, I wonder sometimes, are the affiliate links drive the content? Because, you know, some of the cards I see people recommend, I'm like, well, how is that card better than like the City Strata card that, you know, has way better earning categories and it has the same annual fee, but maybe it doesn't pay as good of an affiliate link? I don't know. I don't know what the reasons are. So I know this was kind of a little bit of a rant, but it's just somewhat frustrating because I want to be able to consume the content and it be content that's just not the same thing over and over. And I know there are people new into the game and I know they need content. I would love to see content that kind of spans the whole field, and there are some who, you know, who kind of give content that applies more to the people. Frequent miler guys are great about that. I mean, their information is very helpful to people who have a lot of cards and chasing status and all of this kind of thing later in the game. But there's just not a lot. If you want to consume a couple hours a day of it while you're driving or whatever, it's really hard for me to find a lot of content that matches my stage in the game. So just a rant. If you disagree, that's okay. I mean, it's free country and people can have different opinions. You may be at a different stage in the game. I'd love to hear your comments, and this doesn't make me right. I might be wrong about it all, but no shade on anybody out in the community. I love this community. I love what everybody's doing. I just would like to see a broader range of content. So I hope you have a great day. Please hit that like button and subscribe, because it's not a job to me, but it is kind of still exciting to get more subscribers, and that'd be kind of fun and kind of cool. So thanks a lot. Have a great day.